Welcome to Podro Pascal, or the Pedro Pascal podcast, and I'm your co-host, Rachel Leishman. As you may see, we have a new co-host this evening. Well, new for tonight. You guys have met her before. Candace, say hello to the people and tell them what's up.
Hello there. I am a giant Star Wars fan and also a giant Pedro Pascal fan. So this, it works pretty well.
Works really well. I think we met on a WandaVision podcast. I was like, I think we met on a Star Wars. I've been on Star Wars podcasts that you've done, but we met on a Marvel podcast.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. And then I started you guys on your horny route during Andor because I made the line about the Kyber crystal. Never forget. I don't even remember what it was. Something sexual about a Kyber crystal.
I made a graphic of it.
I know. I can't remember what I said though. I remember the graphic because you were like, "I'm gonna put this on a T-shirt." I can't remember what it was. We both have our Grogus. I brought him down from his perch where he normally is. I also have that one. It would be embarrassing if I collected all of the Grogu things I had in my home and just like laid them out.
You want to know what the quote was? I found it.
Okay, what was it?
You know what they say about big kyber crystals?
That's right.
That's the whole thought. There wasn't anything after that.
I didn't complete it. I didn't say anything else. I just said, you know what they say about big kyber crystals. And then it was just the gutter. It would be truly embarrassing if I brought out all of the amount of things this creature's face is on in my home. A lot of which I did not buy myself.
Yeah. My mother has bought me so much Grogu merch because she has not seen any Star Wars. She has not seen a Star Wars. I've been a fan since I was 9. But now every Star Wars merch has this guy's face on it. So even like my pop socket she got me for Christmas is just him drinking his broth. And I couldn't be like, oh, it's kind of cliche to have Grogu, but my mother got it for me. I can't say no to that.
Before we started recording this, I was shoving ramen in my face because I got home from a movie screening. And I had a bowl of broth, and I was like, I don't want to slurp that on camera, but I should have just been like done my Grogu. Yeah, my mom bought me a giant mug. It's one of my favorite mugs. My actual favorite mug. People on this podcast have seen. If you're not watching the YouTube, sorry. Oh my god, this was impossible. Is my Knives Out mug. I use it every day. But my other favorite mug it's about the same size because they're huge. For size. Here's little Grogu's face. Here's the size of this mug. It's a huge mug. And the Grogu mug I have is about the same size. So when I make my coffee in the morning, I don't have to get multiple cups of coffee. I just have one huge ass cup of coffee. And what else? My brother bought me a T-shirt. I have a T-shirt. I have multiple T-shirts. I have a sweater, like a Christmas sweater.
I have a purse.
It's a Grogu backpack, purse? But yeah, I have a Grogu. Oh wait, I'm gonna bring my Grogu backpack to Star Wars Celebration. That'll be my purse at Star Wars. Where else can I use it?
Well, I mean, I use my Bo-Katan backpack all the time.
Great. We gotta take pictures together.
I did run Disney like 2 weeks ago. It's a princess run. And Bo-Katan is technically a princess. Disney too. So it works. I high-fived a cast member who's like, Bo-Katan's awesome. I was like, yeah.
Listen, as I said in our last episode, Bo-Katan is the only character who was calling Din's cult out for being a cult. Granted, she is one to talk, but she did call it out when everyone else in that episode was like, hey, buddy, like, what if you didn't go and do any of that? Like, what if you just, like, hung out with us? And she was like, you want to go somewhere that's cursed for your cult? It's like, she's correct. Bo-Katan is the one person correct in this situation. Everyone else just let him go along with it.
Yeah, they're like, sure, that's fine.
Before we get into the episode, Candace, how have you been since the last time the people have seen you?
Since we watched the disastrous Wonder Woman pilot?
Yes, we watched that Wonder Woman pilot.
I haven't forgotten it, so I guess not that well.
You're like, I'm still thinking about I'm going to play with this Grogu the entire time.
Yeah, I know. Same. I'm like, hey.
I'm just like leaning on him, buddy.
I can't believe like how good Pedro's in it. Like he and Carrie Ells are like the two good things about it.
I fucked up. I just interviewed Carrie Ellis and I got so nervous because like they were like, hey, like keep it movie focused. I guess a bunch of people were asking about his other stuff. which I'm assuming they meant like the Princess Bride or Robin Hood Men in Tights and stuff like that. And I got so freaked out that I was like, I will only ask questions about this movie and nothing else. And fully forgot about the Wonder Woman, which he's probably grateful. Probably very grateful that I forgot about the Wonder Woman pilot, but
he was delightful in it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Cary Ellis. Truly, like, forgot about that. Tell the people. So I'm now going to go be a cheerleader because I am going to Star Wars Celebration. I wasn't sure if I was going, but I am going. So listeners of the pod, if you're going to be there, I guess find me. Actually, I don't know.
That sounds a little like
might be a bad idea.
Rachel.
I might be
Let's
like,
give your hotel and your hotel room everything.
I might do like we had a meetup at the last Star Wars Celebration, but it's only me, so I might be like Podro Pascal's and the guests, and get you and Maggie. Ours hasn't even been on yet, but I was like, oh, she's coming. She's coming. Just like we're all gonna meet up, and you guys can meet us.
Is a Podro and Waffles meetup.
We should because then
I've been looking for waffle places that serve waffles around.
I like waffles, so we can make that happen with Podro.
Yeah, Podro and waffles.
Yeah. You know what? We'll do that. When you guys are listening to this, producer Ashley won't cut it out, but we will figure out a Podro Waffles meetup for Star Wars Celebration for those going. We're gonna have a lot of time in the nights because there's no Star Wars night or Disney.
I was like, wait, what time does this is my first celebration. I'm a celebration virgin, and it's gonna be in London. That's where I'm losing it.
I can't wait.
I know.
I can't wait. And I'm gonna come cheer on your panel, which is why this all started. Because I was like, I'm gonna come cheer on your panel.
So Friday, April 7th at 4:30 in the fan room, we are doing Padme Amidala, her influence on the galaxy and on prequel kids. And yeah, it's just talking about how Padme goes beyond just the trilogy of prequels. And, she's gotten some references, not quite like indirect references in like the Bad Batch and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor. You see a lot of Mon Mothma. It's beautiful. So we're going to have some fun.
But we're here to talk about season 3, episode 2, chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. This is of importance. If you have not watched this episode, go and watch it. There's a lot of spoilers in this one. So pause this, go watch, come back. Okay, you all should be gone. What were your overall thoughts right out the gate about the episode?
I was shocked they went to Mandalore so quick because I thought this was going to be like a season-wide arc of him trying to like build his kit, get a droid, do all that kind of stuff to get ready to go to Mandalore. But here we are on the second episode, and this is the first time we see Mandalore in live action, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, and it was truly one of those things where I also thought it was going to be a season-wide arc, and now like all of my theories about this season are shifting based on how this episode ends. I was like, oh, I have a lot more theories, and they're all different. A lot happens in this episode for both Din and Bo-Katan that I was like, some shit's going down, and I don't know how it's going to work. But as always, we'll break this down bit by bit. This episode is so funny to me because the beginning part is in Tatooine, and all of that is before the theme. It's like a cold open almost.
Yeah.
Because they are flying the little ship together. My favorite little thing. These two just like in the ship, hanging out, looking around.
Where does he put his bounty?
I don't know.
How does he go to the restroom?
I have so many questions.
How does he cook dinner? I just like the ship is cool.
The Naboo starfighter, whatever, the Naboo ship.
Yeah, it's what like Anakin accidentally stole in Phantom Menace, but it's not practical at all.
Well, showing us how he goes down in the ship and is with Din made me. I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense. There's like a back thing he can go, but like. Are you going and staying place? Like, how are you just in this ship all the time? Does the Mandalorian suit have like all this stuff? You can just go to the bathroom in there and it like absorbs it? Like, does it bathe you? I have a million questions.
The sleeping, it's gotta be uncomfortable. It's like sleeping in your car. It's not but forever. But I'm glad Grogu has like access to his dad if he needs him. Because I thought he was just like popped up in the thing.
Me
and
too.
Just like, banging on the glass. He's like, hey.
Hello. But no, he has access to his dad. It's really cute. So the beginning of this episode, they go to Tatooine because he's still trying to find the like part for the IG-11 droid. And he goes because he's Din, and he's like, I know 5 people. He goes to Pelimoto on Tatooine in the middle of pod
Bunta
races.
Eve.
Yeah,
Bunta
Buza E. I
Eve.
was like, there's pod racing happening. There's fireworks happening. It's like a big party. He's on Mos Eisley, and he's kind of like, I need this part. Pelimoto's like, how old are you? Like, I don't know. Like, well, I'll ask the Jawas,
Jawas.
but it's really cute because when they land, Din is talking to Pelimoto for a minute, and she gives him like,
She
I'd
doesn't
say
care
like,
about him.
yeah, she gives him like 4 minutes maybe, and then she's like, "Where's my guy?" And Grogu just pops up. He goes, "Hello, it's me," and literally flings himself out of the fucking. Flings himself out of the thing into
It
her
just
arms.
literally looks like he's just like thrown because you can't see his feet or anything. So it just
I
looks like
think
he's
he
being
is.
flung.
I think he
Because
is.
last episode, Din literally throws him.
I don't think I saw that picture on here, but I had a picture where it's Carl Weathers in the background and Grogu's like,
Yeah, he's like catching him.
he flings himself into her arms. The Jawas are basically like, no, no one has that. And so Din buys this fucking droid.
It's a scam. He's so stupid. Literally, I
my
texted
himbo.
Arzu, our friend, during this. I'm like, I just started this episode. Din is a freaking idiot. He like fell for the scam. He's taking a baby to a radioactive planet with a neurotic droid.
This 55-year-old now, I guess, almost
He's still
55.
a baby.
He's a baby.
He's just a baby.
Well, yeah. I mean, in his defense, though, the droid,
No,
the droid does work.
But the droid's a lot of work. It's R5, actually. R5 from A New Hope, which is so cool. And if like you read like from a certain point of view, R2 R2 talks to him and says, "Hey, I need to go with my friend." And R5 like sacrifices himself for the rebellion. So he is a hero droid, but he obviously has some PTSD.
Wild though, like, so this droid fucking survives Mandalore and goes back to Tatooine. So they're on Tatooine. There it is. I already forgot. It starts with a B again. What is it?
Bunta Eve.
Thank you, Bunta Eve.
Anakin does the Bunta Eve Classic, and that's where he wins his freedom. Freaking Qui-Gon couldn't save his mom. Sorry, still bitter about that.
Slavery.
Yeah, Jedi are like, it's fine. It's fine.
In Star Wars,
It's out of her.
What's a slave? They're like basically, Din gets roped into buying this stupid ass droid, and sorry, the droid himself is not stupid. It's broken.
But he's shaking. He's literally like.
He was like, it's like when I got my cat and I had a vet appointment this week, and that was what my cat looked like at the vet.
That's what my
Which
dog
I think is what my roommate said when we were watching it. That like, but yeah, it looked like my cat. Was like, oh no, but it was a droid. R5. It was R5, but like he does not want to go. But Pelimoto is like, take him, and so the Jawas are basically like, no, we don't fucking have that part. Which I do love that Din Djarin doesn't give a flying fuck about anything. Like he would rather use a broken ass droid that he knows who saved him one time than learn to love any other droid.
Well, I just love that we had the whole episode of him trying to go to IG-11 last episode. I get IG-11, and he's like, fine.
Fine, I'll take this droid. Because he's like, Din Djarin has 5 friends. He knows who he likes, and he's like, I'm going to go to those same 5 people.
But he didn't even see Boba and Fennec while he was there.
Well, we don't know. It did get nighttime all of a sudden. What was he doing? I guess Ellie was fixing his ship. So she was like, I'll give
adding
you
a droid. Yeah, a place for the droid.
Yeah. Well, no, that's where Grogu is.
No, it's a separate thing.
No, I thought that thing that Grogu was in, that's where the droid was. That's why he was sitting with Din when they left, because the droid was up there.
She said, I'll have to add a droid compartment.
I think just to get him up and down, but I think that is where the droid is supposed to be sitting, is where Grogu, or they like took the top think I don't know what they did, but I think Grogu had to sit down with Din because of the droid, if I recall.
I
But you
figured he
did
just
say
wanted to hang out with his dad.
he was like, I'm just gonna sit here. But they
Mm.
do leave. It's really cute because this was in the trailer, but
Yeah.
we did get to see him. He's looking at the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hello, fireworks. What's up?" And then there you go. And as they're flying, Din is teaching Grogu how to fly.
Grogu's like, give it to me.
He's like, "Hello, Dad. How do I fly this ship? Please help." And it's really cute. I
It's a really
like
sweet
that stuff.
moment
Yeah.
where he's like, this is where our people are from.
Yeah.
That Grogu is also the Mandalorian now.
Yeah, he is. Except I do love that Din's like, I'm not gonna make you put a helmet on. He's like, you don't need to do that. Don't worry about
Can
it,
you
kid.
imagine?
It's just
Kind of fit. Like where did that it goes for the ears?
just
Like
through them. And then like he's pointing.
yeah.
It's just like his face is so funny. Yeah, so they're flying and it's really cute because it is like Din teaching him, like he's like, this is our way, like this is what Mandalorians need to know how to get home. They need to know how to navigate. He points out, he was like, I've never been to Mandalore. Here is where am from. And then he shows
Concordia,
where.
which we see in Clone Wars,
Mhm.
that's where Death Watch is. That's where Satine and Obi-Wan go. And that's
Mhm.
where Pre Vizsla is like, hey, I'm evil, by the way.
Yeah, he's from Concordia, which I didn't realize he was from like a planet near Mandalore. I knew like the Mandalorians found him, but I didn't realize like his planet was that close to Mandalore.
I think it must have been like their home base, the Children of the Watch. Well, they
Not where
traveled a
Din is
lot.
actually from.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not like originally from the Mandalorian system. I think
That's
he
what I
means Children of
thought.
the Watch
Okay, because
live.
it confused me a little because I was like, I didn't think Din was from near Mandalore
No, he must mean like
once he became
I'm
a
a
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. This is where we're from.
Yeah. And then points out where Bo-Katan's house is.
Which he
Um,
just came back from. He's just
yeah.
going back and forth. He's
Yeah,
not a good planner.
no, like whatever. He does say his ships really fast. But I just love this picture of Grogu. I'm just gonna leave it up for a second because it's the funniest shit I've ever. He's pointing at nothing. He is
He
pointing at
tried.
the edge of. He's like it's pointing at nothing. Um, and so then they're like, okay, we got to go down to Mandalore. It might be rough because what they're told about Mandalore is that it is cursed. You can't breathe the air. It's basically like dead. It's like a dead planet. What we learned in this episode is that that's not the case. Mandalore might be in ruins, but it's still breathable. You can still kind of like exist there. And the whole reason Din went to get a droid um, was because he thought you couldn't breathe the air and he needed a droid to like go down there and like surveillance everything. None of that's true.
The armor was either lied or was wrong.
Here's the thing. I think she lied, which is part of my theory about what I think is going to happen the rest of this season. Since I'll say it now. Since they sprung Mandalore so quick. Spoilers for the very end of this episode. So if you decided you were going to listen until the end, I'm about to spoil the end of the episode. So go somewhere and come back. But when they see the mythosaur in the water and
Mm-hmm.
like Bo is like, what the fuck? I think it's going to have the reverse effect on both of them. That Din is going to start questioning the Children of the Watch and what the Children of the Watch believe in and whether they told him the truth. And like, if the armorer said all this, why is it all different? Like, why is what she said not the truth? And I think Bo-Katan's going to start being like, everything I thought was a lie isn't. So, like, what is the true way of being a Mandalorian? And I think they're going to kind of have competing ideals still,
Yeah.
but it's going to be the opposite of what they were before.
Yeah, I think that the Children of the Watch are treated like a cult. Or
Mm-hmm.
seen as a cult. I can't see them
Mm-hmm.
being in the right.
I don't think fully the right. I do think that it is because Bo-Katan has kind of like sat back and given up and been like, that's bullshit. Who cares about that? That's not real. This isn't real. That's a myth. That's a legend. And I think that's what's going to change. Like
Is
she's
maybe
going to start
they both kind of more maybe they start
in the
meeting in the
middle.
middle
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
both at the extreme.
Yeah, and I
of
think
either
this is going
version
to
of the
force
Mandalorian.
them to, like, go back more towards the middle where it's like, the Cole was kind of right on some things, not everything,
Mhm.
which is kind of, the whole thing about cults is, like, they're right on
That's how
one
they get
thing, which
you.
is get everyone to
That's
go
how they
there.
get you.
And I think he's gonna be like, "Oh, no, their way is not the right way," because I think he thought the waters were going to, like, do something special, and then instead he almost died 3 times trying to go
But that's
down.
Din. That's what
But he's also
happens when he
just
does
Din.
anything.
But yeah, so basically they land on Mandalore, and I almost said Mandalorian. They land on Mandalore. He sends the droid down to check the atmosphere, and like they can't connect back to the ship, so he's basically like, I'll wait for him to come back. And so him and Grogu are just like chilling in the ship together. They're just like, poopy doo, we'll wait here for the droid. Surprise, droid doesn't come back. So Din's like, oh, I'm gonna have to pressurize my helmet and go down there. So he sounds like Darth Vader. He's fucking walking around. Um, this he's like, I'll be right back, BRB to Grogu. And he goes, lock yourself in here, don't go anywhere. I don't know what the air's like. So Grogu's really like, when will my dad return from the war? Surprise, you have to go save him from the war. Basically, here's the breakdown. Din goes down to the mines of Mandalore, almost dies. Saves himself, comes back, gets Grogu, almost dies again. Is saved by Grogu Bo-Katan, almost dies again. We will in the between those describe what happens, but just know that there are 3 separate times in a less than an hour long episode of television where Din Djarin almost dies.
Your dad's an idiot. That's all I'm saying. Like,
He dies.
and this isn't like I was not shocked at all. Like, he literally has to be saved by a baby.
A 50, like, what, 3,
But
4,
he still
5-year-old
has like
baby?
the mentality of a
He's
toddler.
baby.
He is baby.
Baby.
It is a baby.
This is a baby. But yeah, so Din goes and fights the Alamites, which we learn later in the episode are the tribal people of Mandalore who like basically when the Mandalorians were there were
They went
like,
underground.
yeah, they were underground and they weren't really in the midst of everything, and then obviously Mandalore got blown up and they were like, cool, we're gonna go
Well,
wherever.
before on the planet of Mandalore, there was like a dome and there was
Mm-hmm.
desert surrounding the whole thing because just the planet got effed up through the years. So I'm guessing they were outside the dome,
Mm-hmm.
but now that, the Empire came and just blew everything up.
I don't know how to describe how dumb he is
Can we wait, okay.
in this
So
fight. Like
he
he's so
fights
stupid.
them. He has the dark saber, which he still is like acting like it's the heaviest thing in the freaking world, which
Meanwhile,
means he hasn't connected to it. He
no.
hasn't accepted it.
And they've
Apparently, it's
told
been
him
2
that's what you have to
years.
do.
Yeah.
He is aware that that's what he has to do.
He has a dark saber. He takes out a knife at one point. He punches them, but he has a freaking dark saber in his hand the entire time, and he struggles. Like it's
Struggle buses. And
he
like
punches one with his other hand. I'm like, sword, Den.
it's real, which I love this in media. It is my favorite thing that people do. I've seen it in multiple action movies. I saw it in an unnamed action movie I watched today. But I love when people throw guns when they're out, like, or like blasters or whatever they may be when they're out of ammo. I think that is genuinely hilarious to see
Yeah.
watching a grown ass man throw a gun at somebody in the middle of a fight. And we know that that's how Jin thinks because we've seen him do it. He threw a blaster at the rebels question mark in the episode of season 2 where they're trying to get into the Empire base,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
him and Bill Burr. In that episode he throws a blaster at some guy because it doesn't work anymore. I love that, and we know that's how Din thinks when he fights. He's like, whatever I can use, I'm gonna figure out a way to use it, even if it's like I don't know how to do it. except when it comes to the Darksaber, arguably the weapon that would help him the most. Like, he just refuses to learn.
And this is skipping a little bit ahead, but I think it's really important, is we see Bo-Katan with the Darksaber, and she makes it look effortless.
I meant to bring that up. She literally does. And he's like...
She's like, she's just swaying around like she's dead. You know, she's getting it done. And if you just like, you watch those two scenes back to back, which I did because I'm insane. And you just see him struggling and just like trying to lift the saber like it's 1,000 pounds while she is just swinging it around and acting like it's nothing. Like this is every day for her.
I wonder if part of it is because he doesn't want it and he never did. So he is like not that into the idea of like, I have to connect with this thing in order for it to kind of work. It's a weapon. I just want it to be a weapon.
Yeah, because in Star Wars Rebels, when Sabine is training with it, Kanan keeps saying, like, you're working against the blade. Because she has to go through her own trauma and accept that, like, okay, I need to use this for a bit kind of thing and go back to Mandalore. But yeah, he is just, you know, hasn't done much with it.
He trained with it. We saw in the Book of Boba Fett, but it didn't do anything. He's
no, like, it's like it made him worse. At least he's not slicing his leg open like he did in Book of Boba Fett.
No, but he is fighting. Listen, it is so like the Alamites are kicking his ass. And he basically just figures out to like throw them off of this ledge that they're on. Like that's his strategy. He's like, if I just get him off the edge, because granted, also, Din, you have a little jetpack. If you fell off the edge, it would be okay. You could just turn on the jetpack. But instead, he's like fighting as if he doesn't have it and then uses his jetpack like 2 scenes later.
This is how I play video games. Badly, you know?
Like, that's him in this fight. This is the first time he almost dies. He gets out though because he knocks them all out, or he survives. He knocks them all off the ledge and rescues R5, who's just laying on the ground.
Just like giving up. Like all that took to get R5 is just like they probably knocked him over.
Yeah, and he's
R5's like, I'm done. I'm
done. And so Din's like, all right, well, those people are breathing something. Let's go back up.
Let's go get my baby to take her out.
Thank God he did, though.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, the baby knows more than him. The baby, when he gets captured.
Baby did train for 2 years. He's strong. But yeah, so he goes back up. He's like, hold on. What's the air like? I don't know why they went back up in the first place. If he... Whatever. He asks R5 to give him the air quality. R5's like, it's like 95% breathable. And so he's like, oh, okay. Oh, shit. Come on, Grogu. Let's go. And so literally...
They lied.
He's like, they lied. We can walk around. Come on, Grogu. Let's go. And brought Grogu out in his, like, open-aired little thing. Like... Just
he's pissed in this episode.
He's dipping. Well, this is pre-everything. This is when they're just hanging out, walking through. He's just determined right out the gate. He's like, I got this. I'll figure us a way out. And so they're walking, and of course Din Djarin gets fucking taken out again because he has no idea how to check for your surroundings. And he just is walking around, having a grand old time, and walks right into like, what if General Grievous had one eye? Like, what was that thing?
I don't know.
It was like General Grievous on crack.
Kind of thing. Yeah, it looked like General Grievous. It looked like Geonosis. Who knows?
It had like one weird eye, and then the rest of him was metal. But also he was part of a bigger claw thing. The claw thing captures, that's hard to say, Din. And then this guy's like, and he's like staring at him. And I was like, what the... All this episode did was make me never want to go to Mandalore. Never need to go there. Like, if I'm vacationing on Star Wars planets, I'm good. I'm not going to Mandalore. Even if I can breathe, I'm not going. There's cool things everywhere. So this fucking robot chicken thing captures Din. And so Din's just like, he's literally laying in a thing like a rotisserie chicken because he's face down,
Yeah.
not doing anything to save himself. And so, guess who has to come and save him? Grogu. Uh, Grogu tries to use the Force, but I think the thing was just slightly too heavy. Slash, he was worried about getting captured by this thing. And the thing like turns, and so he drops it, which makes the creature thing realize Grogu was standing there. Or Grogu just dropped it. I can't remember, but point is, Grogu dropped whatever he was trying to unlock. The chicken robot heard him, and Din goes, "Run, go get Bo-Katan." So there goes Grogu flying through the fucking mines of Mandalore by himself so that he could go and see Bo-Katan.
Which I love. She's about to like chew Din. She thinks Din is in the fighter pile and in the ship.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna tell him off. And then she just sees it's a baby in the ship. And that's it.
We love a depressed bitch. And Bo-Katan is literally sitting with a bunch of blankets. I love that she is just sitting with a bunch of blankets next to her on this throne. Like, girl, what are you doing?
No one else is there.
Yeah, what is she doing though? Is she just sitting? Is she just sitting?
She's sitting on a throne with
you don't have
no
a book?
subject.
You don't have a book?
She's really sad.
Get a record player. Get a Switch. Play Disney Dreamlight Valley. Play.
Oh, I've been
do
playing that. It's so good.
Me too. I'm addicted.
So
I just got Donald Duck.
Oh, he's so cute. He's so angry.
I just got yeah, he was so angry. I just got Donald. Bo-Katan, you could be playing this. You have to cook for a lot of people. I asked my roommate what a crudité was the other day because I had to make a crudité because that's what Remy the fucking rat wanted. I was like, I don't even know what a crudité is, and there's no recipe. I have to know how to make one. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways,
just vegetables.
I didn't know that. I've never eaten a crudité.
You haven't had a piece of celery before?
Yeah, I've had vegetables. I just didn't know they were.
Then you've had crudité before.
I didn't know that's what they were called. And so it was like, make me a crudité. I was like, what the fuck is a crudité, Remy? Vegetables. I cut up some carrots, and he was like, thank you. Here's your thing. Go on. Anyways, guys, Dreamlight Valley, you make a lot of food. This is my tangent for this episode. You make these animals so much food. And Maribel. These animals and Merlin and Maribel, the two humans you're interacting with in the beginning of this game.
Yeah. You can get Ariel and the Frozen characters later on.
Yeah, put Din Djarin in this game. He'll fuck up Mother Gothel.
Put Baby Yoda in there.
Knows best. Oh, Grogu.
He's gonna want all the food.
So much fun. He'd be like, make me those cookies. And I'd be like, I'll look up a recipe for you. I didn't want to look up a fucking crudité recipe right then and there.
Fucking carrots.
I did. I just chopped up some carrots and I gave them to him. I said, there you go, you rat. Anyways, Grogu's using the Force. He drops the thing. He goes to Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, a depressed bitch we love and we stand, is sitting on her throne with a blanket, not doing anything. That is how we got here. If you guys were wondering how we got from where we were to Dreamlight Valley, it's because I told Bo-Katan to get a Switch.
It's not on Switch, though.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
That's where I'm playing.
Really? I thought it wasn't on Switch.
Wait,
damn it, I'm getting a Switch then.
I've been playing it on my Nintendo Switch this whole time. That's why I charged my Switch again for like the first time in a really long time because I wanted to play Dreamlight Valley.
Oh god, we're off so many topics.
Bo-Katan, get a Switch. That was the whole point. Get a Switch. But she's sitting on her thing, and her droid, her one friend, comes in, and he's like, "Ma'am, you have an unexpected visitor." And she sees the Naboo fighter, and she's like, "Fuck this dude. I'm gonna go get rid of him once and for all." Like, she's ready, as you said, she's ready to go like chew him out. She's like, "I told you not to fucking
come back."
I almost said feckin', like I'm in fucking the Banshees of Inisherin. She's like, I fucking told you not to come back here. I don't want to deal with this. I'm not going to Mandalore. This is what she sees. First of all, Bo, let's have a chat. Where did you think Din was in that ship? It's not that big. You can see his head at any given time.
You thought he was like crouching down. He's going to pop up and just be like, surprise.
I was like, she's yelling at him. First of all, the thing is closed. The like cockpit of the ship.
Yeah, how is he supposed to hear it?
He's got a helmet on and the cockpit is closed and he's got a baby in his lap. If he's there. So already 3 things, whatever, keeping him from hearing her. But she was ready. And then second, she didn't look in the ship to see that he was not there. She
She was
started
just
yelling.
ready to yell at someone. She doesn't have anyone but that droid.
That is true. And so instead, Grogu's there, and he
Aw.
says, and she's like, "What the fuck happened?" And he's like, "Bye
My
bye."
dad's a dumbass.
What does he say? He's like,
Oh.
his new thing is he's like, "Bye bye," and you're like, I guess that's his words. I have his first words like himbo. He's talking about Din.
Yeah, dumbass.
You're so fucking stupid, Dad.
It's just him going, oh.
I can't do
So
that.
embarrassing, Dad.
Dad, stop it. Foreshadowing. He knew how to fly the plane. He knew how to fly the ship.
Okay, but was it R5? No, I think it was R5 who flew it though, because Peli
R5's
says
with them,
it
yeah.
can even fly for you, just like R2 flew him back to his dad.
He did. But I mean, the thing is, Grogu learned exactly where.
Yeah, he
She
had to tell like
was.
R5 and be like, okay, there.
Could you imagine that conversation?
He's like, and
he's like,
he's like, you're pointing at nothing. You're pointing at nothing. You're not even at the thing.
And he's just like, beep, boo, boo, beep, boo, 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 boo. And Grogu's like, hmm? Grogu just pointing at the ship itself. And he's like, here. And
Make
he's
it
like,
go.
no, where? Go there. Go where? Dude, where am I going? But he pops up. She is like, tells her droid, go figure out where he is. And so then she's like, here we go. We're on a mission. I did see a tweet today using the scene from Succession where Tom and Greg are like pushing people out of the hallway, and it said, Bo-Katan, I'm gonna tell this guy I don't want to fucking be bothered. Bo-Katan 2 seconds later, oh my god, people need saved, get out of my way. I was like, that is her. She was not on board and then suddenly so on board.
Well, she just wanted him out of her planet. She didn't want him dead.
She just was like, go somewhere.
Also, I think she didn't want to take care of a baby. She's like, oh no,
I gotta get him back.
I'm not ready to be a mother.
I gotta get him back to his fucking home. I can't deal with this. But yeah, so she's like, I'll go with you. And it's really cute because they have this like back and forth a lot until they find Din.
Well, I mean, it's only one back. He doesn't really reply.
He doesn't reply, but she replies for him. She replies for him because she'll give us the information of what she thinks he says. We don't know if that's what Grogu was saying. But she says something like, oh, you thought he was the only Mandalorian. But when they're looking at Mandalore in this scene, she says it didn't always used to look like that. And we get to see little moments for her. Yeah, where she's like, this was my home. Like, here's all these memories I have. And we see it a lot throughout this episode.
I like how she talks to him like he's a human toddler, like you would a young child. You explain things, your tone is soft and slow, and it kind of shows like she cares in a way. She does care. She's talking to him, she's giving him information. She even's like, Jedi and Mandalorians weren't always like enemies. We fought side by side together.
Yeah.
She's trying to be like, she's like, oh, you're well trained. She's complimenting him, keeping him on course.
She's doing a good job.
She might actually be a better parent than Din.
Yeah, well, she's actually parenting him versus, I mean, I do.
Din's getting better.
He's getting better. The hottest thing Din Djarin has ever done. Okay, it's the second hottest thing. The hottest thing he's ever done is when he kicked the Darksaber, or he kicked the Beskar spear when he was fighting Moff Gideon in the end of season 2. That's the hottest thing he's ever done. The second hottest thing Din Djarin has ever done is when Grogu is spinning in the chair in the last episode, and he just like stops the chair as it's spinning back around. I was like, that's my husband and that's my child. But yeah, he's learning. He's not the best dad, but Bo-Katan is a pretty good pseudo mom. She kind of like
good babysitter.
She's a great babysitter. She was teaching him. She was talking to him. He watched how you can take out the Alamites in 2 seconds.
how you can use the dark saber.
Yeah, I
He's just
can't use a
looking
dark
at her
saber.
and looking at Din and
He's
be
like,
like,
"What are you guys doing?" Yeah, she basically saves Din within like 10 minutes. She gets down
yeah,
there. There's some more Alamites. She takes them out with like in 2 minutes, and she's the one who teaches us that they're Alamites and like what their whole deal
yeah,
is. They were like hanging on the like rafters like bats. It was crazy. The
mm-hmm.
rafters. Ay, yeah, yeah. The
Like
the,
the cave
the,
in thing.
the caves. Said rafters. Like it's a fucking garage.
It
But
could have been a garage. We don't know what happened for the
it could have
Empire.
been. It could have been Mandalore's garage. But yeah, so they go and they save Din from the chicken robot. Um, and she's like, "You good?"
He's like, no, passes
No,
out.
because he was like, they were
What were
putting
they
like
doing
some
in with him?
liquid. I don't know. They were putting some liquid in him. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was like,
like, I don't like it. It's scary. They put liquid in him, and he was like, ah. But I also like that they put liquid in him. His helmet's still on.
yeah.
Like they were like, we respect your way though. We're not gonna
Yeah,
take off your
like
helmet.
when she got him, like after he nearly drowned, I thought they were gonna take off his helmet because like maybe mouth to mouth or something like that.
Well, we
Or
didn't get to
maybe
see that the
what
aftermath.
happened right after, yeah.
So maybe she
It
did,
was
which would be,
credits.
hey, guess what, buddy? You're right there. You can go in the waters.
Yeah,
Take your
go right
helmet
back
off.
in the
Get
waters.
your helmet off.
That's what I
Get back
thought.
down
I
together.
thought he was gonna yeah, I thought like, maybe take your helmet off for a little bit, get a little free, get your hair like, dyed
I
and
thought he was gonna take his clothes off. I was so excited. I was like, didn't Jaren after
That's what
hours.
Bo-Katan was like looking at him like I was like, oh my god, what's
He just walked
happening?
full armor into the. He didn't even take off like any of it. Maybe
He's like,
that's
I'm
what
gonna sink to the bottom.
he didn't get. He didn't get taken down. He just sunk.
he just
He's
he
the
stopped
best.
paddling. He just went.
Because like so they hang out for like a split second.
She makes some soup.
She makes him soup. He's laying down. Grogu's like, I'll help. I'm over here. What's up?
Yeah. He's like, I can assist with food.
And she's basically like, come on, let's go back up. I'll take you to your ship. And he goes, nah, I'm good. I gotta go bathe myself in these waters.
Oh my god.
Like, you almost died, dude. Just stop.
Do you know the reason she went with him was because she's like, damn.
She knew.
Grogu's just gonna come back in like half an hour.
And she does say, she's like, I'm like using this to scratch my head. I'm using Grogu's ear. I'm like, oh, scratch my head. She says to him, she was like, I know where it is. I've been there. And again, we learned more information about Bo. She's like, I was part of the royal family. We had to go here. We had to do the rituals. She talks about her father. And I think Din thinks that they have a bad relationship. And she's like, no. Like he was happy because I didn't embarrass him. I did what I was supposed to do. And like, I don't think they have a great relationship, but I think Din, like, it was funny because I think he says that he seems complicated.
Well,
like, that
he
seems.
said like he seems like a good man.
Yeah, but I think he says like she said something else, and I thought he said he seems complicated. Like I think it was
Or
that whole
interesting
conversation.
or something.
Yeah,
It was weird.
it was a funny response because she was basically saying like, yeah, me and my dad, like, I didn't hate my dad, but we didn't have the best relationship. And Din's like, fascinating.
And then she's like, he got killed while defending Mandalore. And then Din's like, this is the way. Like, that's what you say.
But it's well, because I mean, like, I think that was his way of, like, that's his rest in peace.
Yeah. He's like,
this is the way.
And that's what the Mandalorians are all about is like warrior culture and being like, that's the best way to.
Yeah. It's the same with the Wookiees in a lot of the ways where it's like, while the Wookiees are more like dedicated to
family
and their own like
tribes,
life debts and shit like that. Yeah. They are still warriors, and I think the Mandalorians are not that far off in like how they kind of feel about death and fighting and that kind of stuff. Just to connect it back to my favorite characters in all of Star Wars, the Wookiees. But you know I love a Wookiee. So Poe's like, I'll fucking take you to the waters, Mandalore man. And they get down there, and she's like, surprise, it's nothing.
It's just like a puddle. It's like a
pool. It's literally a pool. It's a little more than a puddle because he can walk in.
Yeah.
Which he does. These are the living waters over here.
Ooh, having a Mr. Darcy moment.
Yeah, two different lights. The one in the far back there is Grogu.
He's like, my dad's dumb. I need to light this up for him. He's gonna get lost.
I'll give you some light. And he's walking through this. He's like saying when he needs to basically redeem himself. Which
she seems a little emotional at that point.
Yeah, like she's like, I think it's because she realized like everything she's made fun of hasn't changed the way he's thought about it. Which is why I think she started to like the whole episode. Bo-Katan was starting to like second guess how she feels about all these ways, because like you can hear she did all of this, but she did it because it was just like what she had to, and she didn't really look at it past like I'm a Mandalorian and I'm part of the royal family, like I had to do this. But you can see, I think, especially in like these scenes, she is attempting to kind of push back at the idea of like how she used to hate it. Like I think she's trying to be like, well, maybe I don't. Maybe there is some truth to like all these things I always thought were just fables, essentially. And so Din is saying what he needs to, which I don't know what proof is he bringing back.
He's gonna bring like a vial of the water, but he did give them armor like something last episode and be like, look, Mandalore still exists.
Yeah, the green
he
thing.
Brought it, right?
I thought she gave him the green thing.
No, he brought it and be like, look, I got this from this guy who was on Mandalore.
Okay, yeah, that was the green, whatever that green thing was.
I don't know what it was.
Bring one of those alamites. Be like, I got this.
Yeah, just brings the whole thing.
Is this legit?
Take some photos, you know, like him.
Go get the robot. Yeah, go get the robot chicken. Go get it. Bring it back on your little ass ship, on that tiny Naboo fighter. Put the robot in it. Bring it. Tie him to the top and just bring him back.
Yeah, like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, just tie it to the top of your ship and bring it back. Like, I got you these. But he's like doing the speech that I guess is the same speech that all of the children of the Watch do when they become a Mandalorian. He's doing it again so he can be redeemed. Which, buddy, redemption is not worth this. There's no.
You're really pretty. You should take your helmet off.
Maybe after season 2 of The Last of Us.
You're straight up hottie. Take the helmet off.
He's walking through the waters, and then all of a sudden,
number 3,
Din just goes, poof.
And Bo-Katan goes so fast. She doesn't like hesitate. She's like, oh, this dummy went in the water and Grogu is gonna drown.
Grogu is literally just like, what the fuck? Where did he go?
He's like, how many times today, Dad? How many times?
Where the fuck did he go? He was like, anyone have any idea? He was just there. And so as he's going down in the water, Bo-Katan has to like fucking jetpack her way down there. I didn't see it was so dark. I understand why it was dark, but I don't know what was dragging him down.
Yeah. I don't know if it really matters. It's like stuff is alive. I know like a few like people were saying, oh, it was dark like Game of Thrones. I don't think it was that dark.
No, it was just dark in the sense that there's no natural light. They're in the mines and they like honored that. But when you're watching it in the fucking middle of the afternoon or in the morning, it's like, I don't know what any of this was. I can't see jack shit. I will say I had to like, when I did my images for work for this, I brought this up to like 100%, I think. Yeah, this is the one I increased the brightness by like 103%. So just for comparison, this is how dark this episode is, just for those who are watching. So this is what this looks like when you haven't touched anything. This is what it looks like when I've upped the brightness to 100%. So it is dark. You can still kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
It is, but you're in the mind. It's like, I understand.
There's only 2 sources of light.
Yeah, and I understand from like trying to be accurate point of view, you're like, they're minds. There's no light. But like from a storytelling perspective, I'm like, yeah, I would like to see what's going on though.
Especially with kids. It's like not like young kids are watching it, but still like 10-year-olds are watching this.
My niece is 12. She watches it. Like, would like to be able to see it. But he gets taken down. We don't know by what. But when Bo-Katan is underwater, she sees the Mythosaur. Would you like to explain to our listeners the legend of the Mythosaur? If not, I can. But I don't know if you wanted to take it away.
It's just it's a Mandalorian. It's kind of like its mascot, right?
It kind of looks like a woolly mammoth almost when you look at it like this.
And it's just like I would just say it's the Mandalorian mascot, right?
Yeah.
That is supposed to be extinct for years.
Yeah. And to the point where Bo-Katan doesn't think they existed, or
Oh,
like she
yeah.
doesn't think they're real, or the their powers. I forget what she doesn't believe, but basically, I think kind of how we are about woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers, where we're like, yeah, sure, those were things, but like I don't know what they were fucking like. It's like dinosaurs, actually. Correction, dinosaurs makes more sense. Um, it's basically like a T-Rex where we have an idea of what a T-Rex is, but we're like, who knows? They also could have been best friends with everybody. Like, we don't know what their deal is. It was so long ago they're extinct. No one actually knows. And then she sees one and she's like, "Oh, JK?
Also,
They're there?"
the armorer says the songs of eons past foretold the mythosaurs rising up to herald a new age of the Mandalore. So the new age of Mandalore. So it's one of those things that is part of like the Darksaber's curse, Mandalore's curse, all the things that they're like she doesn't quite believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like saying, okay, a new age of America's coming once you see a unicorn. There's a freaking unicorn right in front of
And
her.
then you're like, when did that happen? Yeah, that's a great way of explaining it. Yes, the Mythosaur was a myth. LOL. Apt name. Star Wars. You're so good at it. Until this one, it was like the legends were kind of like I think what they've been known as, but basically Bo-Katan sees it and she's like, "The fuck!" And then she grabs Din and flies out because he's dying. And the last thing we see is they land back on the thing. Din's just laying there. Grogu's like, what the fuck is going on? And Bo-Katan kind of has like a moment of like, what did I just see? And then they said,
Her whole life
okay,
changed.
come back next week. That's the Mandalorian. So what did you think overall? Like what were you how you feeling?
I had so much fun watching this.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bo-Katan since the Clone Wars. I've been a big fan of her. And just seeing her story explained, she's always been like, well, first she was a villain to a very tragic figure. I really hope they don't do the like Daenerys thing with her, you know, or Wanda
Yeah, I am worried
thing
about that a little bit.
where she goes crazy and the man has to take her out.
I don't know that he would take her out. I do think that there is going to be a conflict about those two.
I hope
Or
it's
maybe
just a
not.
conflict of
Ideology.
ideology. Yes, thank you. Words do not work past midnight.
We were both saying it at the same time, and I was like, I don't know.
We both couldn't say it. Yes, I
Um,
hope they just have a conflict of that, not like a physical conflict. And I
Same.
hope there's something else that they had to fight together.
Same.
About like maybe the armorer is actually like going to be the enemy of the season.
She should be.
She's
She
sus.
should be. I'm so sorry. You were about to die in the last episode. He saved you, and you go, "What are you doing here?" I wish that fucking alligator thing murdered everybody. That's what they deserve. That was some bullshit. It made me so angry. Din Djarin saved them, and she was like, "What are you doing here?"
You took off your helmet.
Bitch. At least he has a friend.
He brought in a new recruit to the cult.
Yeah.
Isn't that good? Isn't
Yeah.
it like an MLM? You want to like expand your network?
Yeah. Also, again, he has a friend. You don't have any friends. Your friend is Jon Favreau, and he doesn't even really like you. I'm talking about the Jon Favreau Mandalorian.
Paz
Vizsla? Because there's Pre Vizsla and Paz Vizsla. This is Paz Vizsla.
Paz Vizsla.
Who's also played by Tite Fletcher. Plays the body, and by body I mean he's in the suit.
Yeah,
Of Paz Vizsla, and then
Jon
Favreau does the voice. At least Armorer Din has a friend. Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm
I
not
hope
a friend. I'm his son.
Well, at least he has you. Unlike fucking Armorer who has no one because she sucks.
I mean, Din has like 5 friends, and they're all spread out around the galaxy, right?
Well, yeah, because there's Grief. We don't know Cara Dune.
Ahsoka, maybe? Ahsoka's a friend?
Yeah, we got Ahsoka. We got Luke. We got Bo-Katan. We got
Fennec and Boba Fett.
Yeah, we got Fennec and Boba. We got Bill Burr. We got that hot lady.
Omera?
Yeah, and we got his husband.
Oh, Cobb Vanth.
Thank you. I was like, I'm gonna let you say who I think Din Djarin's husband is. Which is he dead? Who fucking knows where Cobb Vanth is? Oh no, he was in the vat. He was in the vat at the end of yeah. Great episode, very fun. I'm excited to see what happens next week because now I don't know. Those are the 2 episodes I had seen, so now I have no fucking idea.
I mean, we have. I'm just thinking of the trailer, and there's some scenes of the rebels. I'm not the New Republic. I mean, and that's it, right?
I think so.
Like that's all we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
some Coruscant.
Oh yeah, we did see Coruscant. Yeah, because we already saw. I know they have names, and I know what they're called, but we saw the Babu Fricks.
Yeah, we already saw them last episode.
I know the Anzellans and their things, but they're all the Babu
No
Fricks.
squeezy, bad baby.
Bad baby. Hey, Babu. But now, guys, it brings us to everyone's favorite part of the show. Hold on, let me get a sip of tea. We've been talking. All right. Stash, 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 stash. The stash on everybody's lips is gonna be Pedro's. Welcome, folks, to Stash of the Week, where we pick our favorite mustaches of Pedro Pascal. Would you like to go first, Candace, as our guest?
Yes. So this one has been spreading around as a meme, and I love his happy face with his little mustache, and that's from the Nicolas Cage movie. Oh gosh, what's the title of that?
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Thank you. And yeah, I love that his face is like around the internet. It should be a meme. It's beautiful.
Yep. That's what happens when you are high with Nick Cage. This is what your face looks like. Yeah, great movie, great stash. Yeah, the meme's great. If you guys haven't seen it, it is basically like Nick Cage going like looking confused, and then Pedro Pascal smiling, and so a lot of people are doing like my so and so when I say this, and then me, and it's very fun. I also love seeing his little face. Makes me so happy. My stash comes from wonderful friend Pedro Pascal's groomer and friend and hairstylist Courtney Ulrich Mooney, who we love her on the podcast. She does great work. Posted a series of behind the scenes pictures from I think it was Flaunt magazine. Yes, Flaunt magazine shoot that he just did, and this is my choice for stash of the week.
Fansel.
Yes, it is a very good stash. It's very dramatic. Great lighting, great hair, great color of a shirt. It's just all around a great picture. It's my shortening of picture instead of just saying pic. Yeah, it's really just a good one. If you haven't, go look at her Instagram. She has some great pictures from that shoot. There's a lot of them, and they're all real good. No notes. 10 out of 10. Candace, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Candace is a Geek on Twitter, and then you can find the Geeky Waffle at thegeekywaffle.com, geeky_waffle on Twitter, and the Geeky Waffle everywhere else in social media.
Hey, you can follow me at Rachel Leishman on Twitter, at Rachel_Leishman on Instagram. You can follow my work at the Mary Sue and Collider. You can also listen to me on the Fordcast, a Harrison Ford podcast. And you can follow the podcast at Podro Pascal on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Like, rate, review, subscribe, and look out for us figuring something out with the Geeky Waffle for Star Wars Celebration. And if you're going, come hang out with all of us cool cats, because that's what you should. We're cool, so you should come hang out with us and be our friend. But until next time, bye-bye.